change your mind, if you change your mind.
Off colors and Lars' head really sums up that Lars needed more character development, with Steven checking back to him to see what he's been doing throughout his journeys with the off colors. This episode really made me feel for Lars' situation more than Steven's, and even though that Steven is supposed to be here in order to fix the mistakes that he didn't cause, mainly Rose's crimes, he still missed his chance on escaping Aquamarine's ship, while the rest of the Beach City citizens managed to do so. Let me tell you that this episode really showcased Lars being brave, and this is the last episode where we see him in his human form. But before we get to that, this is the episode where we get the introduction of the off-colors who have been hiding from the diamonds and their security systems. Let me just say this, that every time that the off-colors are on screen when it comes to this episode and the following episode, they deserve screen time as much as Lars. I'm just saying that even though that some characters don't need a lot of screen time, whenever I think about the off-colors, they're the only characters that Lars can go to, even though that the events in the ending and the following episode may have changed everything, but at the same time, it still gave Lars more purpose. Let me just say this, that the off-colors, even though that they don't interact with the other characters that much, considering that they only appear briefly, I have to admit that they still have potential on being a lot more important when it comes to Lars' development. And the fact that we don't get to see them due to the direction that I keep going on and on for the last several days, it just feels like these gems' purposes is just to aid with Lars and nothing more, which is really disappointing. It just feels like that if Steven had the ability to come back to Lars thanks to Lion's mane, with Lars' new powers that he ends up getting in the following episode, I really feel like that this dynamic between Steven and Lars would have improved a lot more than what we ended up seeing in Lars of the Stars. Trust me, it just makes me question a lot more of how this dynamic would have worked out along the off-colors development with their relationship with Lars. What Lars ends up doing is to protect the off-colors with their gems from the machines that are tracking them down and shattering them in an instant. And when he tries to destroy the machines, it explodes so powerfully that it killed Lars. If Lars actually died and Steven had to resort into avoiding the security in machines in Homeworld in order to find transportation back home, it would have made his character have more meaning and had to deal with the loss that he had no control of. And considering that what ends up happening in the final episodes of Future, I really felt like that this is the type of elements that sums up a lot that Steven is a little OP, but when it comes to people's criticisms towards that, I'm gonna be really honest with you. I feel like that the reasoning of Steven having this power is with him being part human and with his connection towards humans, unlike the Crystal Gems' connection towards humans from the first season. He can easily get a lot more closer when it comes to how his body functions with being part gem and part human. I know it's a stupid defense, but believe me, that's literally all I can think of. And to tell you the truth, this is nowhere near as bad as Steven repelling Jasper after destroying her gem. Trust me when I say this, when I get to that episode in Future in the following month, there is a lot to discuss when it comes to her gem being shadowed. With that being said, that's all I have to say about this episode. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about Law's head. I'm giving this episode an 8 out of 10.